Just wanted to show you a few things you need to do for this week. We can first I'll go through the assignment for the week, and then I want to show you a few things about finding some sources and hyperlinking. So there's some reading to do in the textbook. We're going to get through most of the content textbooky kind of reading this week. So if you didn't get a chance to read this about the I say part of the process, um, catch up on that. The work is a little bit lighter this week, partly because I'm posting this a little bit late. Um, and then also we have Essay 1 coming up next week. And then there's a second reading assignment to finish up most of the, as I say, most of the textbook type stuff that you're going to be reading for the course. I would like you to go through the themes, the 5 themes that you have possible, to decide on 2 and commit to those 2. The work that you read, the writing that you do from here on, then will be centered on those 2 particular themes. You can divide it up any way you want. If there's one theme that particularly attracts you and you want to do all your writing on that one theme, that's fine. But I wanted to have you settle on 2, so you have the possibility at least for a little bit of variety if you get um, fed up with one. And again, I've started collecting some articles to supplement the what we've got in the text. I may end up using these in a subsequent course, but I want and they may be things that you'll end up using in your research paper. That's coming up at the end of the semester. So those are the 5. This is sort of the shorthand version. And this is alphabetized, so it doesn't match the order in the textbook. The American Dream, college, what's it good for? What should we eat? Some issues connected to gender, which is very much in the news, of course, this summer. And technology. There's a little bit about robots. There's a little bit about social networking. This is a kind of broad theme. And food offers some broad opportunities as well. So those are your 5 choices. Look through the readings that are in the text. Think about your own experiences and what you might like to write about. I know this does give you some limitations on topic, but I found that student writing generally is much better if you're writing from something that you know about, and I find that students find things that they're interested in within these guidelines. So anyway, it's always a question in a writing class how much direction to give students in terms of topic. So anyway, those would be the rules we're operating under this semester. There's some more general information about the writing process. This is in preparation for the first draft that you'll be doing next week, maybe the end of this week, the beginning of next week. This is information that I've written with some videos and some links outside. It is information that is across. If you've noticed, I'm starting to build out this content here. So it's under this writing here. I've got a few more that I'm going to be adding here, but what I've asked you to read is just this introductory short little blurb and then these first 2. So again, I'll always, if you don't need to be fumbling your way around trying to find things in here, you're welcome to browse around and see what's there. I won't necessarily assign every single thing that's there, but when I do make an assignment, I'll give you a link to it here. So this brings you to the information about rhetorical aspect of writing. So let's see if I can do this without losing where I am. Okay, so this is the reading to do for the week. I'd like you to start helping me to populate these pages with some links. So I'd like you to look, once you've decided on your 2 themes, try to find one good article about each of the themes. I know everybody jumps to Google first thing here, but I'd like you to try, rather than going to Google and just Googling the topic, start with a well-respected site. I'd like you to look on sites that are associated with print periodicals, either newspapers or magazines. Um, some of these newspapers and magazines put a good portion or sometimes all of their content available online for free. Some just do selected content, but there are a number of newspapers and magazines that have information that you can get online. Look for some good quality articles that have some, you know, depth to them. Look for things that seem interesting, that catch your attention, that seem well written. Um, you can go to some magazines or newspapers that you're familiar with. Um, all magazines I've listed here, but you could go to the New York Times or the Boston Globe. Um, or if you want to maybe find some new sites that you're not familiar with, one site I often recommend to students is this Arts and Letters Daily. There are some articles in here that are sometimes kind of quirky, interesting things that give a little bit of a teaser here. And then if you click on the more, it'll bring you to the article. So there may well be, I haven't looked at it thoroughly, there may well be some content about education or food or whatever in here. So by all means, look through there. Uh, they add content, I think, anew each of these every day. But the real value of this site is in this sidebar here. So if you pull it down, it has links to a lot of these newspapers, not only US sites, but also world newspapers. That might be interesting to look at. Um, so this will bring you to the home page of those newspapers. And then below here, it also has some magazines. And these are all well-respected magazines. You kind of have to, if you're not familiar with the names, you might have to pop in and check them out. One site, let's see, where is it? One site that I've used a lot in the past with my students is the New Atlantis. That's a particularly good technology related magazine. And Wired, as I mentioned, I think is probably down here, is another good technology magazine. But there are a lot of sort of general interest magazines that Newsweek, The New Yorker is great source of sort of general interest information. So browse around there, see if you can find two good articles. Once you find the article, so let me go into New Atlantis and I'm going to do a example here. I asked you, you're going to do a post that gives your two themes and explains a little bit about why you chose those themes. And then I also asked you to find one article for each of the themes. So once you find an article, it says in the instructions to put the author, title of the article, and then the news source that you got it from, the periodical. So let's just try, because my students wrote about robots last semester. Let's just try robots. So you could put in this search term, in the search box, food or technology or education, see what you can find. But again, this is a technology related one, so I'd put in some aspect of technology that you're interested in. Or you can do a browse by topic here. So let's see if we can find one that looks interesting. How about, we'll just take this one. So suppose you decided this was an interesting article. I just want to show you the hyperlinking part of it. Okay, so we've got, it's in the New Atlantis. The title of it is Killer Robots, Where is the World Heading? It looks like, I'm not sure if this is an editorial kind of thing. Here's the author's name. You often, most of the time, it's listed at the top, but sometimes you have to scout around a little bit. This looks like a blog post rather than an article that was published in the magazine, but I'll just want to show you the hyperlinking part of it. So to hyperlink, the hyperlinks are, you know, if you're not familiar with the term hyperlink is a, like here, this is a hyperlink. It's a clickable bit of text that will bring you from one web page to another. So, and that's usually the way that acknowledging your sources is done on blogs. So there are two bits of information you need. One is the title of the article, and the other is the link here, the URL. You could copy and paste twice. The problem that you run up against, or the annoyance that you run up against, is when you copy this title onto your blog, the formatting is preserved here. So you have to adjust the formatting. The way that I usually do it, and again, you can develop your own methods, but what I usually try to do is remember this title, and then what I copy is the URL. So I'm going to grab this URL here. I selected it, and I'm going to Control C to copy it, or you could right click. And then I'm going to try to remember this: killer robots, where is the world heading? Now I'll go back and stick this on the course blog just for fun. So I've signed in, so I'm going to edit this. Okay, and I'll put this down at the bottom here where I'm going to put this video when I get it done. So this is killer robots, where is the world headed? I'll use MLA capitalization here, which would cap all these. I'm not too worried about how you do this in the blogs. So what you're typing is the title of the article. Then you're going to select the title. Then you go up here to these icons. This little paper clippy thing is the hyperlink icon. So you click on that. It automatically comes up with this HTTP. Notice I had copied the URL, which included HTTP. For some browsers, this is not a problem, but I'm not sure this is still the case. But I think what happens if you're using Internet Explorer, for example, I think if I just copied what I had, I might end up with two HTTPs and the link wouldn't work. So I kind of get in the habit of just deleting this to have an empty box there. And then I'm going to paste the link. I like to open it in a new tab. Just it's easier for me. It's not absolutely crucial. And then you click this add link. Now, this doesn't work as a link right now. It doesn't work on the page. But what we'll do, I'll update this. And then I'm going to pop outside to visit site, or I could do view post here. What happens is, here it is. So here it's a link once you publish it. And so if I click on it here, it brings me right to the article. So it's very convenient way to save links and bookmark them. Notice, what students sometimes have a tendency to do initially when they're working on these blogs is just put the URL here. If I had just, let me show you what that looks like. Let me go into edit. So this is what I have students often doing, just doing the URL. And I'll update that and go back to visit site. Okay, so now look at the difference between this and this. This is, it doesn't work. I can't click it. Yes, I could copy and paste it and put it in a new address bar and get there, but it's not functional the way this is. It's not nearly as neat looking. It's sloppy with all this stuff. You can see what the title of the article is, but in some URLs you won't be able to see what the title is. This makes it easier to remember. It's easier to remember what the link is. So this is much preferable to doing the URLs like this. And see, we can still get this if we click in here. So that's what I'd like you to do for hyperlinking. Now let me see, is there anything else? And then, as I say here, I do have the Essay 1 assignment is all written. text wrestling assignment, we're going to call it, which is something I've often done in the past. But I do need to pick, and what I'm going to do is in essay one, you'll be writing a summary and response. So that's the summary is the they say, the response is the I say, to an article. What I'm going to do is give one article choice for each of the 5 themes. So I have the assignment written, but I still need to pick the essays that I'd like you, or the articles that I'd like you to summarize and respond to. I'll try to get that done. Today's Tuesday, by tomorrow, uh, so that you can have a little bit longer than a week to work on that first rough draft. Okay, I guess that's it. If you have any questions, let me know.